You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of... If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her... Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did?
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. They said they had something... I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like...
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unannounced. Thank you! Guess we'll go pay a visit to the Tenryo Commission.
All right, then. I'll just stay...
We're way behind schedule.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. We invited Mr. Kaedehara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of... Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we... The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving... The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the... Regarding the history of the Kaedehara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaedehara and Kami... We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Considering Mr. Kaedehara has once more made in the interest of preventing further harassment of the bladesmith clan.
This is a true honor. I am delighted. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture...
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. With the Kaedehara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaedeharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the Almighty...
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer... Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of...
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I am...
Malicious rumors?
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaed... Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a...
What? But that doesn't make sense.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person...
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable, but perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me...
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought.
Please, in fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then.
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No. This puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade tech. Over time, those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai.
All the more reason to watch your back! This guy was a serious nutcase.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious...
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaedehara
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedehara. I've heard—
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Mr. Kaedehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing— Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want.
Millions? Of mora?
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing detail— Sorry, I got a little off topic. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads, and I thought you might have some—
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault.
Uh-oh. Looks like the trails of—
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured, or for the poor victim, this would be a—
Don't worry, we'll
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero.
You flatter me. Truth be told,
You are much too humble. Don't worry, Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over— Let me tell you about it just in case.
sure. During times like this, the more—
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a
Amenoma. Now they're—
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Ame— 2 grown men going missing at the same time. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me.
Sure, can't hurt.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by
Sounds good.
if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the two clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respect. Yes, you may recall the story of the Raiden Gokaden from the Iridori Festival.
Though all bladesmiths trace their craft back to the same source, over time, each of us has arrived at a different blade-making philosophy, spawning the development of different branches of the same art. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin art.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart.
You overestimate me. But let's get back on topic. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out...
Ah, yes. My nephew. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. But I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryo...
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance.
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato. After that, yes. Strange, isn't it? If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare... He's never been particularly interested in blade forging. He is extraordinarily talented.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only you...
What? No. He is humble and kind.
Is that...
Yes. If there's one thing... But, with that said, I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if... Anyway, should you find him...
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened. Let's pay a visit.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we... My husband has gone missing and...
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to...
Ah, I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state.
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would...
That's a long story. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic... Everything was fine when we first got married. But as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh. What happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habit, and I also don't... The next thing I heard was that our...
I see. Ame no Mayuya came to purchase a weapon.
At first, I assumed they... But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying grocery. I don't know. He just perhaps he's too afraid to come home, now that... Even though I'm still a little mad at him. We're a family. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Ame no Mayuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing? More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the fire at do you have any thought?
Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
That is the most likely conclusion based on everything we... However, in this case, if this is indeed what happened, one fact that I keep coming back, Mr. Nagato being heavily in debt, the more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Right. Although the time Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with...
Let's keep going. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and...
Okay, but...
Let's head out of the city and check out...
We're way behind schedule.
Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those as sketchy as that whole thing seems. You did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still... It felt very much like that ancient presence in Ina... Indeed. But this... we should remain vigilant.
Huh. So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming. The source of the Tatar... Judging from the concentration...
Mrs. Nagato said her...
It could well be that he was already under the... From what I've been told, Tatarigami... But most will... Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no You needn't worry.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary!
All we can do now is keep search. Two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. Yes, let's quiet your mind.
Next on the agenda... We're way behind schedule.
From this point, the trail appears to split into two. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distant.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
We're way behind schedule. Born of ice and frost. We're way behind schedule.
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn... Well... According to this letter, a conflict or Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato.
So,
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after... Yes, if Ame no Yuya is attacked...
right. So let's get moving.
I wouldn't be for a all the clues that at first seemed I have a hypothesis.
Wait. You figured...
I believe so. On with the search.
Why here?
I'm not sure, but on closer examination... Show yourself!
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So what's your problem, huh?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. But what if instead of facing Ame no Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it... Whoa! Shh!
Tatarigami energy often lodges. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, or rather, as a means to occupy.
You're sharper than many as a descendant of the Kaedehara clan.
I presume it has something to do with...
Indeed. At that point, he was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of in her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect...
So...
The people of the time in which I was born never believed... After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power.
So, Amen, tell me, what happens to those you've possessed?
My hosts? Who cares what happened when they got tired or injured or unusable? I hopped...
You're...
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide at long last. I'm approaching my journey's destination. Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun. Now, give your... Submit to me!
Animal hypostasis emulate?
Blaze over.
Join me
Time to go.
and sever that divine light! Rewrite history!
Steady as stone.
Submit to me!
Come on, focus.
Submit to me!
Animal test 6308.
Check this out!
Join me and sever that divine light! Submit to me!
Crash high.
Rewrite history! not stand in my way.
Your bluff's fooling
Lost. I can never, even if you defeat me here. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. The end result is the same. I will, and even if I were to lose by any means necessary.
Your fighting style. It is, but from your movements, I sense only hatred and air.
Really? You can tell.
As I've mentioned before, the form, since the blade is currently possessing Amenoma Yuya's body, if you ask me, the mania is probably...
Are you trying to claim that I am on his deathbed? He passed to me all of Ishin Art's secrets. The little that you... In that regard, why would I...
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been... Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything... After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembered.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress? Well, that brings me to my second point. You were determined to fulfill your maker's I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, but the way I see it, what began as an
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one...
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that...
You...
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, how could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art?
Silence! I must achieve my goal. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation. No. It is pointless to argue further. Descendant of the...
How stubbornly you stick to... I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty
What? Surely you're not...
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom, once we have dealt with them...
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must...
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save... The Cursed Blade's strength is current. The power of the Tatarigami lies in...
What?
Even if things take a turn for the worse, we have a chance here to save an innocent victim.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful... Now...
Kazuha?
I felt a little dizzy at first, but it's all right. So far, this was as I will.
What should we do next?
We find some Although this blade has endured much turmoil, if a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony, but if he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has...
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that...
All right.
What about...
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently.
Are we sure this is a good idea? Okay, fine.
Leave everything on this journey to me.
It's my lucky day.
As one with wind and cloud!
Blade! Onto the irie! Finally, to the berry! Finally,
How are you feeling?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone, though he's making every effort to persevere.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Let's keep going.
It's my lucky day.
Wind Strider!
There's more!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
To the berry, to the berry.
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. He cannot hold out much longer. If he...
But what would that do to...
I will be careful with it. He's still trying to... Time to go.
I'm ready! It's over!
One with wind and cloud. It's fine.
You win! This
Are you okay? It looked like you were really...
Yes. And
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer.
perhaps this time we'll finally have...
True form? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey, it barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I finally figured you wanted to reach a state of harmony, but regrettably we are nothing alike. The only one who truly understood...
Huh? What's that?
There they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup!
Don't worry, it's just... Wind Strider! Wind Strider!
Cheap shot!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
You fought way better with...
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. No one knew anything of my story throughout my I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you...
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, too much time has passed. My physical state is poor. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a
Actually, forging and maintenance are both important for a blade. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that skill. Blade. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. I feel a great sense of regret for you. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost. You have known this for a long time.
He gave me everything. How could I possibly I said to him, do not worry. How could I go?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was a bladesmith. A newly forged blade lay by his...
Wow.
Indeed. He spent the rest of his life in the forge. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again so he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as...
So that's the But after that...
Right. This blade has committed unforgivable...
Shame?
Yes. Time would not wait or stop he seems to have calmed...
When I look, I once... But darkness and slaughter numbed. Not only did I fail...
You are finally seeing...
Since we agreed to the term, but I still cannot bring myself to... So, may I ask...
Hey! Now you're adding yours and...
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. My physical form, as well as the...
His attitude... What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my make... Alas, after that, nor have I ever had the... My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. You are a fine warrior.
Oh? And who would be...
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. You must have plenty of reasons to both hate...
Understood. Then let's...
I see. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he's... If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in... I do not wish to be a mere victim in...
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence.
Thanks for your help. Who knows?
All right, then let's move... More Ronin could appear at any moment. In any case...
Next on the agenda... We're way behind schedule. Luxury, but I love listening to the rain from the courtyard.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the crux. Yep. Still, even if he's way past the point of... Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. Successor of Ishi...
Successor of Amenoma.
Honored to cross blades with...
It is my honor.
Wind Strike! Time to go. Clouds high, the birds call. Wind Strike!
Thank you for... Although he appears battered and broken, his sense of savage cruelty...
You also fought well. There are a few things that
I must apologize to you.
You need not seek my forgiveness. It is too late for...
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see... I strayed far from the... I beseech you.
Yes, I too...
Thank you.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he...
I'm not sure.
It's you!
I am sorry to have troubled you.
A prized Ishin blade. Turned weapon that... Consider... But I have some good...
Really?
Yes. Bad... And now that Yuya is back...
I think I know what you want.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade
Yes. He said he wants to take...
What? No!
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. I have decided to...
You... But... He...
Thank you. Okay. I am ready.
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. right, there's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
So, that's what his consciousness will disappear.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his only in the final moments before his...
Seems like he really...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him wreck. I understand. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light, your quest to face the gods, and after everything I've seen,
Oh,
I will continue to support you from this point on.
wait!
Oh, you're right. And it's also time to give him...
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger.
Wow, you sure kept...
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of... By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study, and so it looks like I will likely continue with my journey.
I see.
The Kaedehara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so were I to accept your goodwill, I may find my...
You misunderstand. That was most certain...
I am aware, but I still...
Very well. I can understand. However, if you should ever change your mind or...
Great.
Where will you travel to?
I'll probably take to the seas with Cap... As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world.